Hello, human flesh creatures. This is going to be part one of my Seeker extravaganza. So we're going to begin with these over here. Well, here are my masterpiece figures. I think I'm going to save those for another time. I do have a custom Skywarp back there. So instead, we're going to start with these Rainmakers. And then we're going to go on to none of that stuff. We're going to go through all of these Seekers. So let's get started. Okay, and this begins my Seeker extravaganza. What is an extravaganza, you might ask? I don't know. This is just a Transformers review. Don't ask me. Well, here's the first three. They call them the Rainmakers, but I suggest you put on your sunglasses because, wow. Yes, it's like, hey, we're primary colors. Just get used to it. First of all, let's just say what a Seeker is. This is a term, in case you don't know, that wasn't always official. It's a term that the fans came up with, and it's because I think it was a Consumers Distributing catalog. One of the early catalogs in the 80s that showed the Decepticon planes, referred to them as Seekers in the description, and it kind of stuck with the fans. And only recently, maybe in the last 10 years, I'm going to say, did it become officially used by Hasbro. So anyway, these are the first three I'm going to look at. These are called the Rainmakers. These are knockoffs. These are made by CHMS, and the Seeker mold is very common, of course. The quality on these guys is pretty good. And let's say, why are they called the Rainmakers? Well, that was because in an episode of Season 1 called Divide and Conquer, these three guys were deployed by Shockwave, and they attacked the Autobots with acid rain. So Blue Streak referred to them as Rainmakers, just offhandedly, and that's the name that stuck with them. Now, that gets a bit confusing because at BotCon 2013, they released a 3-pack of these guys called the Rainmakers, but it was Sunstorm, at Hotlink, and Bitstream. And then Fun Publications, the ones who are in charge of the club, I guess, they confirmed later that that was an error calling them the Rainmakers. They're not supposed to be the Rainmakers. Mainly the confusion is around this guy, who is sometimes thought of as Sunstorm, but he's not. This one is actually called Nova Storm. This is Acid Storm, who is probably one of the more popular ones. He's gotten different decos. And this is Ion Storm, the blue one. So you've probably seen these guys a lot before. Let's just go over a bit of the quality. That's pretty good, not great. You know, for a knockoff it's good. You can see the white paint could use a second coat on the landing gear slash intakes here. That's a bit faint, but not too bad. Same with the hips. The silver is good. The white, yeah, I could use another coat there. Silver is good on the knees. Silver around the wrists and on the bottom of the forearms. And they all come with the weapons that are molded in white, I believe. Actually, it's hard to tell. This is molded in white. This might be gray. This is painted green, a bit faint there. It's got some chrome here, as you can see, and they do have springs to fire. So they all come with those. This yellow guy, Nova Storm, here has a bit, I'd say the paint is applied a bit thicker and better here on the white. Let's take a look at Ion Storm. Not bad. This is a bit faint. Yeah, again, the white is faint. The weapons are painted pretty well. The stripes on the wings are good. They actually have Decepticon logos tampographed on here, which I'm a bit surprised about, including on the nose cone, which is nice, and a bit of silver here on the cockpit. You don't normally see the faction symbols on a knockoff, but these guys have them, and they're all in purple. Now, because you've seen these guys a lot, I probably won't show transformation of all of them. Maybe I'll just transform this guy. And since we have one of the weapons off already, we'll take that off. These fold in. Straighten his arms out. Let's fold the feet up. These tap together. Straighten those out. Collapse this. These peg in here. And we'll straighten the arms. Pull the chest out. This is quite clever, I've always thought. The only problem with these really is that I don't like how the nose cone hangs off the back here. If they'd had maybe a double joint or some different joint, this could have moved down. But this is a pretty old classics mold. It's been used so much. It's you know, it's pretty old at this point. It was pretty impressive at the time. Now it still holds up all right, but you know, they've kind of got more modernized stuff out nowadays. Now, one thing is, you can see it does hide this pretty well. There's some of the Seekers that have this part painted black, and it stands out, but this hides pretty well. Okay, now I just need to flip the wings back. Oops. Of course, these tail ones go up and they peg into place. These do not have anything to hold them in place, they just have to line it up. These sort of peg in. This is a bit loose here. Okay, so yeah, pretty good. Plastic is pretty consistent. It's a decent quality. I mean, you wouldn't really know it's a knockoff if I mean, by the quality of it. I think it stands up to Hasbro, Takara stuff. This color here is a bit different. Mostly the paint apps are what suffer, and you can see that the logos are on an angle here. Can't really tell if that's intentional or not. But there he is in jet mode. You can attach the missile guns under here. Again, these are these oversized null rays, which I've never liked. I wish they had just done a smaller type of weapon that didn't have these firing things, but yeah, it looks alright. Okay, so let me transform the other two and we'll get back. Oh, gee, I think I got some paint that just came off of my hand. Okay. So one thing I just noticed while transforming these guys is there is a bit of a difference in plastic color. You can see in the thighs here, this plastic is a bit different from everything else. I think it's also the same, yeah, the same one that's used to attach the wings. Here and here. Yeah, I noticed it here before, but didn't notice the thighs. And it's the same on all of them. It's not that noticeable, but it is there. Nice sort of dark gunmetal chrome on the engines here. That's on all three of them too. Okay, so here are three Rainmakers in jet mode. Obviously the Seekers were always based on the F-15 Eagle fighter. I'm sure most people know that. Sorry if you already know these things. I'm just trying to throw a bit of information here. As I said, because this is a common mold, you probably know a lot about the actual Transformer itself, but maybe the characters or something I can tell you about. It looks like the cockpit's molded in white, which is nice, and yeah, there's not really a lot of issues with these guys, as you know, for a knockoff. There's a bit of a gap here. You can kind of see the leg pieces spread a little bit. This wing is a bit loose. Well, both are a little bit loose, but they are assembled right. I've seen this on the Collector Club. Actually, when I get to Nasal, I'll show you this is misassembled, but that one's all right. And same with this one. One of these wings was a bit loose. Same on the yellow guy, but you know, nothing major. They're in quite good shape, especially considering how old this mold is. It's been, well, I mean, I don't know if it's the exact same tools, but you know, but it has been used a lot. So again, you can see the Decepticon tampos are on an angle. They must have done that on purpose. But you know, you can always put a sticker over top of that if you want it to be better. Yeah, other than the weak paint on the guns and some of the white, they're pretty good. I'm really happy with these guys. So, oops, oh, I just fired a missile. Luckily that missed. What was I gonna say? Yeah, obviously the spring works. Oh, these are landing gear. I think I don't really see any point in bothering with that. So I always just keep them on like that. Let's take that off so it looks symmetrical. Pretty good. Even the white and the red is not bad on the tail. A little bit you know, a little bit of overspray. Again, not too bad. I've seen worse. So there's our Rainmaker squadron. I'm really happy with these guys. I was lucky enough to get these from an eBay seller. This came from his private collection that he was selling off, and I feel a little bit bad because they actually arrived in package, which I think I showed in a previous video. And you know, of course, I opened them. I don't always open my toys, so there's some I leave in the package, but I always open Transformers, because what good are they if you can't transform them? I mean, that's where the fun is, right? So yeah, you gotta open these guys. Let me rearrange them so you can get a better look. What else can I tell you about these guys? Yeah, it's too bad they never made official ones of these, because yeah, they're pretty cool. You know, they're just bright primary colors, just like they were in the show, but I really like them. They look great with Shockwave, even though we only saw them in the one episode. And in the episode, they didn't turn into these alt modes. They turned into Tetrajets, you know, the sort of pyramid-shaped ones. But really glad to have these. If you can find them, I do recommend you pick them up. I got these, I think they're about $100 for the set, so you know, kind of steep. But if you can find them, you want to search for Seekers or Rainmakers.
Okay, the next three we're going to look at are the Knockoff
company. I don't know what it stands for, but
I think
Knockoff Acid Storm. I'm not sure about it. And a Knockoff Skywarp, of course. This was the first Knockoff I bought, I think, because I just couldn't find a Skywarp at the time. He was difficult. Pretty good. I can't remember. You know, I might have painted. Did I paint the tail fins? You know, I painted this guy years ago, and I'm not sure what I did exactly. So I'll just try to show you as best I can. Here we got the slanted or canted Decepticon logos again. Same chrome here. That's nice. I've put the missiles on this. This came from a third-party pack called Guilty Hunger, and it came with missiles and proper null rays for the three main guys, Starscream, Thundercracker, and Skywarp, and they also had an add-in packet for Acid Storm. So that's why these are on here. My other Skywarp, which I'll get to later, has the null rays. So what have I done here? I painted over some bad purple paint with black here, because that's what color his knees are supposed to be. And I think I painted the gray in these vents like it's supposed to be. And I have, what else? I don't think I did anything else actually. That might be it. So for a Knockoff, this guy was pretty good. You know, it's a decent representation of Skywarp, and I don't think I paid that much for it. This has a bit better assembly. You can see there aren't the seams in the legs here. He's pretty well put together. Oh, wait a minute. I think something's broken here. Yeah. It looks like this hinge, I didn't even notice this before, but this hinge, something's broken off in here. It's not too big a deal, but yeah, just noticed that. Yeah, I keep this guy in jet mode because the other one's in bot mode. Alright, let's get rid of that guy. We want to look at Sunstorm. So this is Sunstorm. He should be more orange, and this is why Nova Storm here is yellow, or rather, why the yellow one is Nova Storm. They're not the same. Now, Sunstorm was in the cartoon, sort of. He was in a different episode, though. He was part of the welcoming committee from More Than Meets the Eye, part 1, I think. Yeah, part 1. Which I think is the first episode of Transformers. You can't really get a good look at him, but he's there, sort of one of the guys. Yeah, it's the same idea. The white paint is kind of thin. I've put a bit of extra paint on the knees myself here. Actually, these were silver before, I believe. Yeah. And yeah, I won't really transform this guy. Hopefully, you can imagine him in orange. He's got a white nose cone. The same white cockpit? No, it looks like it's, yeah, a little bit of white in there. Anyhow, that's Sunstorm. I don't have a pair of null rays for him, unfortunately. You're not going to stand up. Fine. Okay, Acid Storm. You can see they look a lot better with their proper weapons, don't they? I think so. Yeah, so this guy's pretty good. I got him, now I say he might be a knockoff because I got him on AliExpress. I foolishly passed this guy up when I saw him in a retail store back in the days when the classics were out. I don't know why I did. Well, at the time I
I had no idea who the heck Acid Storm was. I just thought they made him up for a figure, but what did I know? Anyway, the camouflage was a nice addition. Now these logos are on a different angle and they're facing forward, so I'm still not sure about whether this guy's a knockoff. Anyway, nice coloration. The only thing I did to modify this guy was put the black paint up on the top of these. Well, okay. Did he have any black paint? I think he had black paint on... well, maybe none. No, he didn't have any black paint. Gosh, I can't remember. You know what? I think he had black paint on the top and here, but he didn't have any on the sides and the outline. Yeah, I think I just painted it here around the intakes and on the sides. Yeah, because in the artwork he's got all black here. So I wanted that to be a little bit closer to what he's supposed to be. Well, supposed to be, who knows. Since on the cartoon this is Acid Storm. And yeah, here, put your sunglasses on. Yeah, so this is nice. You can get a masterpiece of this guy, of course, too. Which has a nice digital camouflage pattern on the wings, but only the wings. It's kind of strange, you know. I didn't buy that one because, yeah, the camo was a bit strange, and I don't understand why they brought out a masterpiece Acid Storm before they did the 3 original Seekers. I just don't understand that. And they did a Sunstorm too, even a Hasbro Sunstorm. I don't get it. I don't understand Hasbro. But I actually had the masterpiece Sunstorm, but I sold it to a friend of mine who watches this channel. So hello to Mjoya. Yeah, so I can't review him for you. Anyway, there's Acid Storm. And you know what? Maybe I'll show you this guy in jet mode because he does look kind of interesting. Alright, so here we have... get out of there. Here we have Ass Storm in... looks like Ass Storm with this brown streak all over it, doesn't it? Ugh. Skid marks. Okay, so here I have him in jet mode. Looks pretty good. See, he's got camouflage all over, unlike the masterpiece. Don't ask me to explain that. Yeah, looking pretty good. It's got an interesting blue on the nose cone. I don't know why, but I kind of like it. I just wish this matched. This is gray for some reason. This is what I was talking about earlier. See how the head is black on the sides, so you can see the side of the head in jet mode. You know what? Maybe I should probably paint that green. I don't know why I haven't done that. Yeah, pretty nice jet. Again, I'm not sure if this is a KO. Maybe somebody could tell me. He came in the original looking packaging of a Classics, so I don't know. You can also see it looks better with the Guilty Hunger Null Rays on the jet mode too. I like that so much better. They've even painted the lights on the wingtips here, which is nice. Although one of them should be green. What is it? Port is red. Starboard, I think, is green. I may have that backwards. Yeah, here's the blue plastic again in here. I don't know why they chose that. It's not on the rest of the arm, but there's a bit of paint here. Yeah, I don't know what's with the random blue-gray, but you know, it looks nice, but I don't know why they put it in those areas. So anyway, nice looking jet. The plastic feels a little bit nicer on this guy. Again, don't know if it's a knockoff, but it feels good, and it looks nice and glossy. So you can see, like on these guys, on this one, I mean, it's a bit inconsistent, but the wings are very matte. You know, this should be glossier, like the fuselage is glossy, but yeah, I mean, you can tell this is a knockoff. It's a bit flimsy. I mean, yeah, it's not. Jeez, yeah, it's pretty bad. This is probably the worst of the KOs that I bought. Maybe this guy being, he's all right. You know, the paint kind of spoils this guy a little bit. Nope, he's got orange side of the head though, so that's good. He's gonna look fine in jet mode. Yeah, but yeah, the Rainmakers are better quality. This guy's all right. Okay, let's go on to the next 3. Alright, well, I think everybody knows these guys. This is the Seeker, well, these are the original guys. This is Starscream, of course, Thundercracker, and Skywarp. This version is the Takara reissue that they did in a 3-pack called the Seeker Aces. There's also a pack called the Coneheads, called the Elites. I don't have those. I have the original Generations version, so I'll show those in part 2. But for now, let's take a look. I've got these guys up on this stand because they sit up on a high shelf. So the difference with these ones is they have a metallic finish, and I can show you a comparison with the Starscream. So you can see here he's got metallic, all the blue paint applications are metallic except the hands that are molded in color. These are the aftermarket null rays again. Sorry, I didn't pull out the original ones, but they are, well, they're just color matched basically. So here is a comparison with the Classics version of Starscream. Again, I got this guy off AliExpress. Don't know if he's a knockoff or not. Maybe somebody can let me know if they can tell. But he came in sort of the original looking packaging. So, you know what though? I think this one is actually... I got this guy because I think he's more cartoon accurate. Whoops. And hair trigger too. It's attacking me. So, yeah, a few differences here. Obviously there's gray paint here, and then the feet are painted, blue knees. The metallic looks nice. I'm not sure if I like it on Starscream. Thundercracker, a bit strange because he is molded in blue, but he has metallic blue paint on him in some areas, like here. And the metallic gray. He does look good though. I like it. I bought this set because I only had Thundercracker in the Classics version, and he is right here. Quite a big difference on this guy actually. Couldn't say which one is more toon accurate or toy accurate because just a lot of small differences. This one obviously has more red paint applications on him, which is not cartoon accurate. He only had the stripes. This is painted silver. It's got a tiny Decepticon logo there. The thing is, with the Classics, they were not very consistent. They didn't have a uniform look for the three Seekers. Oh, I got some spray paint on me there. So, you know, while they look good individually, they don't really come out as a set as well. I think there are two versions. Oops. Two versions of Starscream that came out. You know, this one with this sort of matte coloring has the upside down sigils here, and this one has a nice. Well, I consider this the proper way, even though on the cartoon and I think it was usually upside down in robot mode, facing back. I find if you've got a jet though, it doesn't really matter which way the logos are facing, except that the nose cone, when they have it on the nose cone, is facing chin forward of the logo, and here I think that should match, chin forward, right? Why put it backwards? And you know, it also has the advantage of being right side up in robot mode, but yeah, on the cartoon it's usually upside down for whatever reason. I mean, the toy came with stickers, you could put them whichever way you like. Anyhow, I digress. You may notice I'm interchangeably using the term classic and generations, and for anyone who doesn't know already, there's an acronym called CHUG, which is Classics, Henkei, Universe, Generations. These four toy lines that were done between Hasbro and Takara over the years kind of had this sort of G1 character reinterpretation. It wasn't limited to one line, it spanned those four things. So in North America you had the Classics line. When that was finished, they had the Generations line, but they were still bringing out some G1 characters within that line. It wasn't exclusively G1s though, like Classics were. And then overseas they had Henkei, which I believe is Japanese for transform, and then Universe. Universe was, I think that's also North American. I'm not sure, you know, it might have been both. Sorry, I don't know that one. Somebody else can comment if you know. Anyway, this is the Hasbro Generations version of Thundercracker. He's got a nice metallic sort of paint swirled in here, bit of a crack here. A good quality figure. The Henkei one would be more cartoon accurate, a lighter blue. You know, this is a good Thundercracker. Mostly, of course, they all look good as a set, which is how they're sold. And then we'll go on to Skywarp here. Skywarp is my personal favorite of the Decepticon Air Force. I just think he looks fantastic. Black and purple accents, and just what a cool name. They all had such great names. Skywarp, you know, they called him that, of course, because he had the power to teleport. Thundercracker with his sonic booms, whatever those did. So same idea, we've got the metallic purple with these some parts molded in purple plastic, metallic. Although at least the paint applications are consistent. You know, they have the metallic paint in this. Oh, you know what? I'm wrong. I guess the forearms are metallic gray, perhaps, probably. You know, but these guys match, which makes sense. It's correct. I mean, Starscream never had painted shoulders, so that's fine, I guess. Then again, he's not supposed to have blue knees either, unless you count the toy stickers. Anyhow, they're relatively consistent, shall we say. By the way, I never showed off the head articulation. You can turn this from side to side. So yeah, nice black plastic. This is definitely superior to that knockoff I showed you earlier. More consistent plastic coloring as well. Silver in all the right places. Really nice figure. Love this Skywarp. I almost paid a fortune to get that 2-pack when it came with Ultra Magnus. And looking back, I'm so glad I didn't, because the paint job was just ridiculous on him. And I think that was the only option we had for a while. I don't think Skywarp got a single pack release in North America, just the Henkei, I think. I feel like I'm forgetting about one though. Anyhow, so those are the aces as they are called in this package. And yeah, they look fantastic together. You know, just if you had the original weapons, of course, it would just these are just dumb. I mean, this is a kid thing. Even as a kid, I never liked spring-loaded launchers. I mean, did you? I don't know who really used these. I mean, if I'm going to shoot somebody, I'll just imagine it. You know? They never had missiles anyway. They used null rays or lasers or whatever the heck. So I don't see the point. So there's those guys. A good set. I do recommend them, although I think the price went up a little bit since they've gone out of production. I would kind of like the Elites too, but you know what? They're not as accurate. The Elites, I'm not sure about the paint job. I'll get into that more next though. So I hope you'll watch part 2, where I'm going to cover the Conehead Seekers, the knockoff clones, and Nacelle from the Collectors Club figure subscription service. Thanks for watching.